evening. Welcome back to Finnerty. Glad you're here. I'm Rob Finnerty, and I am not trying to be funny, but sometimes you have to laugh, and I think you will laugh at this. If you know me, if you watch this show, you know that I have a tough time understanding what has happened to the left wing in this country. I can't. I try, but I can't. Confused is not the right word. Lost might be a better word. But because they are so confused and so lost, half of America is confused and lost as well. Millions of people voted for Kamala Harris, and I figured out why. They like Kamala Harris. The reason is reality to the left and reality to the right are two completely different things in this country. To the left, this is a woman. Rachel Levine, real name Richard, a man who thinks he's a woman who was put in charge of the Biden Health Department. To the left, Rachel is also an admiral, ready to take on the high seas with Big Rach. To the left, this man was fit to serve. Not only that, but Joe Biden was ready to serve another 4 years in office, and if Democrats had their way, he'd be president right now.
All right, God save the Queen, man. What a stupid son of a... Because of the actions we've taken, things have begun to change. End of quote.
To the left, this woman was competent. Not only that, but Kamala Harris is also an African American, even though her mother's from India and her dad's from Jamaica, meaning she was our first ever black female Southeast Asian, whatever she is, vice president.
She raised us to be proud, strong black women. And she raised us to know and be proud of our Indian heritage.
To the left, Karine Jean-Pierre was a real press secretary. Forget about Caroline Leavitt. KJP was the real thing. Brilliant. Not only that, but she was a history-making one. And if you don't believe me, just ask her.
A year in this role, there's been a couple of things that has made me incredibly proud. Many things have made me incredibly proud to be at that podium during this historic moment. Again, this is a historic administration. I'm a historic figure, and I certainly walk in history every day. But this is also a historic making administration because of this president.
Yes, she is just, without question, completely historic, totally historic. To the left, what you do in your private time in the bedroom behind closed doors makes you qualified for anything, which is why to the left, Mayor Pete was also historic. Our first ever gay transportation secretary, whose only qualification to be transportation secretary was being gay. To the left, this is what modern day masculinity should look like. Kamala Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, Dougie for short. Not toxic masculinity, this is real masculinity.
An interesting part of how people have talked about your role here is how your role has reshaped the perception of masculinity. And I'm not sure you planned on that, but you are an incredibly supportive spouse. Has that been an evolution for you? And do you think that's part of the role you might play as first gentleman?
It's funny, I've started to think a lot about this. I've always been like this. My dad was like this. And to me, it's the right thing to do, you know, support women.
That's a real man right there. To the left, this is a hero. Forget the fact that St. George Floyd violently resisted arrest for minutes after committing a crime minutes before, something 99.9% of Americans would never do, by the way. Forget that he was high on drugs at the time of his death, including meth and fentanyl. George Floyd is a hero, which must be why there are murals, over 200 of them, and monuments dedicated to his memory all across this country, because to the left, George Floyd is a real hero. To the left, Bill Gates is a doctor, someone with no medical training, no medical degree, no college degree, just a creep who seems to have a real affection for Russian prostitutes, allegedly, of course. But during the pandemic, the whole world took medical advice from Bill Gates because Bill is a doctor. And to the left, this isn't a scientist or a doctor. What you're looking at on your television screens is the science. Everything Tony Fauci says is science. You can't even question it, because if you do, you are questioning said science. And if you're on the left, you always trust the science.
If they get up and really aim their bullets at Tony Fauci, well, people could recognize there's a person there, there's a face, there's a voice you can recognize, you see him on television, so it's easy to criticize. But they're really criticizing science, because I represent science.
He is the science. And to the left, this is a Native American. Have a good look. There's a real Native American on your television screen. We did it. She even said on her Harvard job application that she is Native American. She checked that box, so it must be true. She even contributed a recipe to a Native American cookbook called Pow Wow Chow. Wow, she must be a real Indian. To the left and the legacy media, this is what mostly peaceful looks like.
I want to be clear in how I characterize this. This is mostly a protest. It is not, generally speaking, unruly, but fires have been started, and there's a crowd that.
To the left, when you have questions about climate change or global warming, you want to make sure you turn to a real expert, like high school dropout, who is also pro-Palestine now, because to the left, this little person right here, Greta Thunberg, is a real climate expert. And to the left, this right here is a brilliant woman that you're looking at. To the left, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is one of the brilliant minds of the next generation, an up-and-comer, if you ask me. And to the left, this is an American woman with nothing to hide. This is a real American woman, not someone who identifies first as a Somali refugee on her Twitter bio, but a real Midwestern wine-making American hero. And to the left, this woman right here, have a good look, is a victim. Michelle Obama, Princeton undergrad, Harvard Law School, ran a hospital, best-selling author, former two-term First Lady of the United States. But Michelle has had it so darn tough.
It's expensive to live in the White House. As many people don't know, I mean, much is not covered. You're paying for every food, every bit of food that you eat. You're not paying for housing and the staff in it. But everything, even travel, if you're not traveling with the president, if your kids are coming on a Bright Star, which is the First Lady's plane, we had to pay for their travel to be on the plane.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Somebody get me the world's smallest little violin. Because this woman has had it so tough. Did you hear that? We could play it again. Did you hear that? She had to pay for her own kids to travel on an airplane. Because to the left, all of that is normal. It's not to the right, it is to the left. But that's why things like this continue to happen, rewriting our history. Famous Hollywood director Christopher Nolan, this guy right here, is making a movie based on the book, the poem, The Odyssey. And I'm not kidding when I say any of this. But the role of Achilles will reportedly be played by Elliot Page. Looks like a guy, formerly Ellen Page, meaning the most famous warrior in history, not just Greek history, all of history, Achilles, is about to be played by a transgender woman in a brand new movie. You might remember Ellen Page from the hit movie Juno 20 years ago, where she was definitely a woman.
Are you honestly and truly going to prom with Katrina DeVore?
Hi.
Leah just said that you were going to go with her.
Yeah, I did ask her if she wanted to go. A bunch of us from the team are going to go to Benihana and then go to the prom and then go to VJ's parents' cabin. So we're getting a stretch limo.
Your mom must be pretty stoked that you're not taking me.
Yeah, so that is Ellen before she became Elliot. And Elliot will now be playing the role of Achilles in this new movie. Achilles, who is described throughout history as being a superhuman warrior, deadly on the battlefield. He even defeated Hector of Troy. You might even remember Brad Pitt played Achilles in a movie 20 years ago, meaning we've gone from Brad Pitt to a girl who dresses as a guy who's 5'1", 118 pounds. That's the person that's going to be playing the greatest warrior in history, because to the left, that is normal. That's okay. And to top it all off, playing Helen of Troy, the woman who started the Trojan War. The likeness on the right, probably not great. She was beautiful. The woman whose face launched 1,000 ships, whose beauty was unparalleled, a woman who was definitely white, is going to be played by Lupita Nyong'o. you might be looking at this photograph saying, I think Lupita Nyong'o is black, and you're correct. We haven't adjusted anything. And I've got nothing against Lupita, but I do have a problem with the complete rewriting of history. Helen of Troy was not black. That's not me being mean, that's me telling the truth, the real, actual truth, which we tend to do a lot of here. And Achilles was not a 5'1" woman. But to the left, this is all normal. But don't you dare cast Brad Pitt as Martin Luther King Jr. in a movie. That would never happen because Martin Luther King Jr. was definitely black, and Brad Pitt, I think, is white. And I don't think Christopher Nolan is going to cast Big Elliot Page, the transgender man, to play the role of George Floyd when they come out with that movie, and they will. I don't think they'll do that. Again, we say all of this because no one else will, but the left in this country are in trouble politically and everywhere else because none of that is normal, even though they claim it is not. When we come back tonight, a massive story. While the left pretend that Donald Trump is weaponizing the Justice Department, in reality, President Biden wrote the book on it, and we've got the proof. The congressman who was targeted for trying to impeach Kamala Harris joins us next.
For every day you play that scam, I will eliminate one of your family. And that is the truth.
Okay, so I don't know what this is, a witch, something. If it doesn't terrify you, I don't know what will. We have a frightening Finnerty Files, not fun. Frightening. Plus, a local school district that encourages children to change their genders and then helps them do it without telling the parents in a story that you've just got to see. We've got a Finnerty exclusive coming up. Stay with us.